Hello and welcome to the Something About Basketball podcast. Yeah, I'm your host. Well, one of your hosts, Paul.
I'm Dylan.
Okay.
What up?
Yeah, guys, this is we're into the third week.
Something like that. About 10 games.
10
for
games
most
in.
teams,
We're 10 games into the season. Not quite enough. Not quite far enough in to really start making like definitive statements or anything, but enough games that you can kind of see the teams that are kicking ass and the teams that are shite.
Indeed.
Such as it
76ers.
rhymes with tragic.
Yeah, they're
No, I'm only
4-6.
I'm only messing with you. I'm only
Yeah.
messing with you.
We look pretty bad today. 68 points.
That was vicious.
It's not good. And ugh. But yeah. So we start off. We're gonna talk about a couple of things today. So
Yeah, we're going to talk a little Timberwolves. We're going to talk some Clippers, and then we're maybe going to run through some kind of
just extraordinary performers. Sometimes.
Yeah, maybe like just talk about kind of early MVP of the first 10 games and just kind of the best guys around the league, and have our weekly Joel Embiid
Indeed.
check in. Yeah,
watch yourself. Hot takes coming in.
It's gonna be like fire. We'll be burning up in this bitch.
Style on, dog. We spit hot fire.
You might get the two whitest people on YouTube, some tan or something. Yeah,
we'll see. All right, so we start off with T-Wolves. They're not very good yet, but they're rounding into form. Wiggins, big game.
46. He had 46 yesterday.
Yeah.
One really surprising thing about the Timberwolves, I was surprised they're second in offense. They're second in offensive efficiency.
Wow.
Like I look back over the past 6 years. Through all of Tom Thibodeau's teams with like the Bulls, the highest they ever finished was 5th, and most seasons it was 10 to. It was one season they were 23rd or 24th or something like that. So it's not completely unprecedented that one of his teams has
solid offense.
Has a really solid offense, but his calling card has always been D, and there's kind of big question marks about the inventiveness of his offenses. But did you watch that Clippers Wolves game or see any of the highlights or anything?
Was that the one he went for the 46? Was the Lakers one?
No, he went for 46 against the Lakers.
Okay. No, I didn't see the Clippers. I did see him beat the Magic, and Wiggins didn't really show up. Levine was incredible though.
I've been on the fence. I've been on the fence with Zach LaVine for basically since he came into the league. It's like he was eerily like something in his games is so reminiscent of J.R. Smith. And like he was terrible on defense, but man, the boy's been scorching from three. He's like 46% on 6 attempts or something like that. It's just. What do you think of Wiggins? Like I've got my pros and my cons with Wiggins.
I'm disappointed in him. I'm sure you don't know this, but he went to college in
Kansas. Knew there was a college team coming out. I knew there was some bullshit about the NCAA.
Both his parents are Florida State alumni, and he was supposed to go there. It was down to us in Kansas, and he chose poorly, and he couldn't win a title with Embiid, and I'm disappointed in him.
Yeah, go on ahead. Break my camera. I don't need it.
I'm disappointed. So I don't know if he'll ever get better. Then disappointment to me. He's obviously looking like he's a real talent, and I think he's going to do good things in the league. But I'm off him forever. He broke my heart. But he is popping. So
the one in terms of his, I know that's obviously gonna hurt you for many years to come. But the thing about him is right. He's got that point where he's getting to the line at will. He's so athletic, and he can just make moves, and he can get to the bucket of athleticism alone. He's got a beautiful little spin move. He's got nice he's developing like a bit of a post game. He's You know, he's scoring. He's a very high level scorer.
Definitely, he's 27 on the season.
27 or 26 on the season. Now and then he's obviously a pretty good one-on-one defender. Although I think his reputation exceeds the results.
Yeah, but
that
he's
end.
got the potential for it, and he's still 20,
and he should 1 or 22 or
22.
whatever he is. Now the one thing, the few things that about him that about his game that still hasn't really come along is he's still only grabbing like four boards a game and like getting maybe 2 assists. You got a stat there.
So he's 26.3 points, 4.1 boards, 2.2 dimes, and so
he is a bit of a black hole. He tends to like sometimes he'll pass, like when he does pass, it's more just because he's got himself in some sort of bad space or whatever. So like he's still, I mean, he still has a lot of time to make up that aspect, but I don't know if he just doesn't have a good enough nose for the ball or if it's a positioning thing. I haven't really looked that closely into his rebounding problems, but 6'8" can jump from here to somewhere really far from here.
Maybe like 4 or 5 feet away.
Oh yeah, yeah. He hops like a mofo. No, so that's all I'd say about him. You don't want a young player, and I hate to be one of those people who's going to harp on about what a guy can't do when he can do so many things. And then when you're talking about the big fella, what I would say, I watched them against the Clippers, and I watched the b-ball breakdown and a few other bits and pieces. They're spacing the floor very well, which I suppose makes sense because Cat can stretch the floor out as a 5. Levine is obviously he's really really good
so much
shooter, and then just Wiggins himself just commands so much attention in certain spots of the floor that they're not really having that much difficulty, spacing. Even though you've got guys like Ricky Rubio, or even Chris Dunn who can't really shoot, or Gordy Gang, so whatever, but we're spacing the floor really well. There's usually a lot of movement on offense. The defensive side of things, I think it does take a long time to learn that Tom Thibodeau system. You can't really, I think that's more the reason why they've got off to such a poor start. Is some growing pains learning that, because it requires a lot of discipline and really have to communicate well. And
they're a young team too as well, so it's like Levine is what, 3rd year now, 4th year.
Levine is 3rd year, I want to say.
Yeah, so like Wiggins, Cat, half your starters are just babies in the league, so it takes time to get defense. They'll get it sorted by at least the All-Star break. I'd imagine they'll start working their way, start actually seeing some of that old Tibbs defense.
Mm-hmm.
You a little sleepy, buddy?
No, I just Jesus, I look like I'm about to pass out or something. No, yeah, I agree. I think it's going to get a little bit like the Magic. I think that it's going to take a long time to really get that defensive system down. And once they get it down, I mean, like the offenses, they're not even executing as well as what they could be on offense. There's a lot of kind of, like a lot of times the players are kind of not really sure where they're supposed to be, and messing up things the way the young players do, and like they're still having some of those late game problems. Like, was it the Nuggets game, the Grizzlies game, and maybe the Nets game? They lost by like a combined 10 points or 12 points or something like that. So it's still blowing kind of winnable games when
they're a young team. That's kind of just what young teams do. So. What do you think? Will they turn it around? Can they turn it into a playoff team? 3-6 right now.
I
ignore that.
Even though the Lakers, and we kind of talked last week about how fun the Lakers have been and everything, I would not be that surprised if the Lakers started to steal off a little bit, and the
T-Wolves
made some of it up. Say that once that they've got the personnel to get that defense really really locked down. If they're even able to get themselves into the top, I think they're 23rd or 24th at the moment. If they got that up to what, 15,
yeah.
even 15, 14, they're going to start kind of tightening up on those winnable games. Then I see no reason. I just want to see my boy Ricky run free. That's all I want. That's all I want out of life at the moment is Ricky Rubio because the teams he's been on have always been better with him on the floor.
Yeah, for sure.
They're always better with him on the floor, and I just think he's just one of the best guys in the league to watch. You know, he's just so much fun to watch.
You mean
I've kind of got a little bit of a man crush on him, to be honest.
Well, he's really pretty. he's a total dreamboat. So if there was anybody,
That's floppy hair, you know.
Well, I mean, it's weird because how old is he now? Like 26, 27?
Maybe.
Well, he'll always be a 19-year-old little
14-year-old when he was first came when he was playing professional basketball. I don't think that's a healthy thing either.
14-year-olds.
We had this. I remember I had this conversation about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's been playing professional football since he was 16, and a little bit like remember in Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum was saying they were so concerned about whether or not they could, they didn't even stop to think if they should. Well, that is a good analogy for whether Ricky Rubio really should have been playing professional basketball when he was 14, because I think.
Did it cap his ceiling a little bit?
Might have, because he gets injured all the time. I suppose some players get injured all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But I think, we've gone off on a wild tangent. Sorry, that was my fault.
I guess to bring it back to the important things, the magic. Is
course,
that what happened with Hazonia? Is that why he looks like he's got all this potential, but then he's not making any leaps? And I know he was playing for Madrid or Barca.
He's got Ricky Davis-itis. He's just got this reflex where every time the ball goes into his hand, it just has
hot potato.
Yeah. What about the big cat?
He's good.
He's been starting to bring his shooting numbers weren't as good early in the season, but he's brought it up to he's almost a 50-40. It's just the free throw shooting. I think you've got the stats in front of you.
I don't
have the percentages. I think when I looked at it, he was shooting 49.5% from the field, 39.5% from three, and 75% from the free throw line. Now, is he going to shoot 39.5% from three for the rest of the season? If he did, that's a frightening prospect.
Well, it's unstoppable, really. So we'll see how it goes.
So the Wolves have been disappointing thus far, but definitely not. There's a lot of good signs in there. A lot that whenever I was kind of looking at them, that you'd expect them to really start putting together more wins.
So you'd say there's some bite to that bark because they're Wolves, and
I'm so sorry.
All right, so well, the Clippers.
Clip's gonna clip. Sorry.
By that you mean lose?
No, it's like a thing they have on another.
Is it?
A rival podcast of ours. Yeah. One of our rivals over at ESPN.
Would you even consider them rivals? I mean, they're so far beneath their quality.
Yeah. I actually think that they probably got like hidden cameras installed in my in our recording studio. Yeah. Just trying to figure out what we're doing and how we're producing such delightful contact. Oh, that was weird. Freudian slip. Delightful content.
All right, so the Clippers. So they are by far the worst franchise in the history of the NBA, and they're not so bad anymore.
Timberwolves are close. Timberwolves have had one good playoff run in their entire.
They've at least made the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, but still, like
and
that was one beautiful blip in an otherwise sea of desperation and despair.
Well, my friend, let me paint you a story of the San Diego Clippers, and then the Los Angeles Clippers, because it is stormy seas or some other nautical analogy. Yeah, no,
Don't
the
know where
Clippers.
I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they're good. They're good now. So
They're very good. They're frighteningly good. They're 9 and
10 and 1.
10 and 1.
10
Sorry,
and 1.
and they're
Killed the Nets today.
Oh, they wiped the floor with them. I was cruel and unusual punishments. That that was that's I don't know, the equivalent of getting the guy into the electric chair and not putting that little wet sponge on their head. Smoke flying out of Brooke Lopez's ass today, but no, yeah, it was awful. But they're really good. They're it's the first time I've really seen them, and I've been, I'm a glutton for punishment. I've been watching. I've always liked Chris Paul. And I've always liked Blake Griffin, and I've watched them quite a bit over the last couple of years, and I've never seen them put together such a sustained level of excellence on both ends of the floor. And they've been a really successful team. They've been almost a guaranteed 56 wins when healthy for the last 5 years or something. And their point differential, Kevin Pelton, over at one of our rivals over on ESPN, he tweeted out a stat today that they have a better point differential through 10 games than last year's 73 win Warriors. They've been stomping teams. They've been, and Chris Paul is just unbelievable. He's really just good. Kenny Smith. Do you know where he had you guys watch TNT? Yeah. They've been doing their rankings of players. So they were Chuck gives his 25 to 21, and Shaq gives his 25 to 21, and then Kenny, and so on and so forth. Kenny had Chris Paul 21.
Wow.
Sandwiched it between Dwayne Wade and some Carmelo or something like that. And I'm like, what basketball are you watching, man?
It was preseason, right?
No. This was just last week.
Okay, well that's inexcusable because I could kind of understand it, seeing as how he got knocked out of the playoffs. What was his injury last year?
No, Blake had the quad injury.
Yeah.
Was it a hammy? Hamstring? Wasn't it a hamstring?
It?
Maybe, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But even at that, anyone who's been watching Chris Paul knows that he's a top 7 player, no matter what.
He's a beast.
And so far through the first 10 games of the season, it's arguable whether who's been better, him or Steph Curry, him or Westbrook. He easily stake a claim as the best point guard in the league this year. And he plays better defense than either of those two guys.
I think he's laid that claim for the last decade.
No.
The D. Will days. Look,
Steph was better last year.
Yeah.
But whatever. But he's never went down lower than 2 or 3 for me. Maybe make an argument, as I said, for Westbrook, depending on what way you look at it. But the way he's been playing and the way he's been shooting it from 3, and the fact that he plays defense, and the fact that he gets everyone involved and he never forces anything, and he's just this methodical breakdown of teams. He's brilliant. I don't my head near spun around and exploded. Bit of hyperbole for you, But I couldn't believe it. 21, Jesus. I feel like going on a Stephen S. Smith rant about this. Lucky thing I've kept myself so composed. Right. What else do you think of the Clippers?
I don't know. How's their bench?
The bench is good. The bench is better than it has been at any time in the last 5 years.
Is Pierce playing much?
Pierce is not playing much at all. He's basically glued to the bench.
So he's coaching.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what is. I think he might be done. I think he might be.
Yeah, just.
I think that might be
passing him by.
Yeah, but Mo Buckets. Has brought a kind of steady presence in that unit. I suppose say Kevin Pelton. Raymond Felton is playing well. Austin Rivers, the much maligned Austin Rivers, has been playing fine.
I think he shrugged off any doubters last year after playing in that Portland game with
his Rocky moment.
I mean, that was was ugly to watch. He
Yeah.
got beat up real bad, but
Real bad.
real bad.
Like real bad.
For reals.
Anyway, I was watching. Yeah, no, I've watched a couple of the games, and like they've got they've got such simple ways to beat teams.
Mm.
You know, like so much of their action starts where they'll get Griffin the ball at the elbow, and then like he backs the guy down and just pops it straight back out to Radic or Chris Paul or whoever it happens to be for a wide open 3-pointer. You know, he can kind of spin around, he can get into the lane, he can pass off the shooters, he can go to the hoop himself, he can.
Oh, for sure.
But there are just so many simple options, like, and he's got that amazing lob chemistry with
Jordan.
With Jordan, just runs down the lane and dunks anything that's not, hasn't got limbs, So they're really, really, really good.
They are really good.
There's not really that top five has always been, well, top four anyway, has always been really, really good on offense.
Their starting lineup, yeah.
I think DeAndre has really, really elevated himself into that legitimate defensive player of the year consideration, not the bullshit defensive player of the year consideration he's got in previous years.
Yeah.
But no, like anytime whenever you talk about the Clippers, you kind of just wait. You just half expect the wheels to fall off at any moment. But like
it's because the Clippers name has so much baggage, and I know we've talked about this before. Is it time for, if they fall short in the playoffs this time, is it time for a change? Just get
name,
just
stadium. I would do it.
leave
I mean,
the Staples Center and go where? Stay in LA.
I think he was talking about like my best friend, your man, billionaire.
Microsoft too.
What do you call him?
Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer was apparently he's not keen on the whole sharing the Staples Center thing, and I don't know if he maybe wants to build his own. Probably wants to build his own stadium. And I imagine just keep it in LA and whatever. But I don't know the logistics of something like that. But
that would be nuts.
But if as hopeful, as good as they look right now, and as hopeful as I am, and as much as I want it to work out, if they fall flat on their, if they blow a 400-point lead in the fourth quarter of a Game 7 or a Game 6 closeout, it's time to just cut the cord with this, because
for sure.
Just as you say, it's just a name that just seems snake bitten.
Yeah, I mean, last year was, if they were going to have a good year, last year was one of their best shots. I mean, obviously Golden State was going to be tough no matter what, but to lose Paul and Griffin in, was it back-to-back games or was it the same game? Or was
I think like Paul went down first and then
Griffin's like, actually my quad's been bothering me, I'm out.
Yeah, I think he probably could have.
Yeah, I
could have pushed on a little bit. There was no point though at that point.
Yeah, it was writing was on the wall.
There was no point at that point.
Well, yeah, their point guard was out, Chris Paul.
So sorry, but no, I think the defense looks really good. Blake Griffin's always been an underrated defender. I thought he's always kind of pretty smart defender, and he tries hard, but he's gotten really good. Like really good at kind of leveraging his athleticism.
Yeah.
And, they always play that. They play that system where, like, opposed to the Thibodeau system where the center kind of rotates out. Like tries to defend in space. They kind of play it a bit more conservatively and just always have DJ at the rim, and he's just like, there's like, never mind the shots that he blocks. There's just so many times when guys won't go to the rim if he's there because he's just such a deterrent. Never mind anything else. So no, I hope they keep it up. I think it makes things a hell of a lot more interesting if there is a team that's playing, because I think they could give especially with their size, they could give the Warriors some problems.
Oh, absolutely.
And chemistry-wise, they just seem to have gotten over all that crap last year with Blake breaking his hand on your man's face and stuff. But that stop, man, the most Clippers thing in the world. Like, but yeah, they have the continuity, they have the chemistry, and they have the size, and just the overall talent that you'd imagine they'd give as long as they don't.
Yeah, they'd give any team.
As long as they
especially
shoot,
the way
shoot
they play.
themselves in the feet. You'd imagine that they'd give the Warriors serious problems. The Warriors, after all the, I messaged you the other day, after all the singing and dancing about rough starts and everything, and they haven't even really looked that good, and they're still 8-2.
Yep. Yeah, it's
which not everyone else should be going.
I mean, the Heat started 9-8 or something.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, for them to come out of the cannons 8-2, that's already out of the gates. Jesus.
How to kind of
mixing my
metaphors?
Similes. Yeah. No, it's mixing metaphors. But
mixing metaphor. Yeah.
I was trying to. Yeah. So back on point.
Two gobshites trying to sound smart right there and feeling miserable.
It's what happens when you live in Korea and your English just kind of wanes. So, all right. Most impressive player so far. I got some stats from a couple guys, but I was running late at work, so
That's not acceptable.
It's not, but
you don't think the guys over on ESPN are running late? I think
late.
The guys at friggin' CBS are running late. That's who we're fighting for customers from.
Hey man, the internet's bigger than all of them, so there we are.
My ego's bigger than most of them too.
So, all right. So,
yeah, who's
for me? I probably got to go with James Harden. What he's been doing, like, I don't know why I've probably watched 6 of the Rockets' 10 games so far, and I like watching that team. And he is really good at basketball. He's just really good. Like, I used to hate watching their games because it was like, oh, fouls or threes. He just does everything.
Still shooting a lot of fouls and still shooting a lot of threes, but he's like...
the beard is just majestic. Like, it's entrancing. I don't know what it is, but, like, he is really freaking good.
He's leading the league in assists.
30, he's putting up
again.
30 with 8 boards and then 13 dimes. Like, it is ridiculous.
Even last year, whenever that was, was so-called Kardashian year, that's probably how they'll label it, like, not DNP, it'll be this Kardashian. But even still then, it's 27, 7, and 7.
I still prefer the 4th team All-NBA.
Yeah.
Because, there is no 4th team and he got stopped pretty famously.
Yeah, but he was really good last year. He was just a running vine.
The whole team was, it just seemed toxic, and I feel like D'Antoni's a fun guy to play for.
Yeah. Bring back the mustache.
For sure. I know I was texting you that, like, he needs just go full Italian with it, get a Stalin mustache or something going, like, do something, D'Antoni. He was awesome in Phoenix. Bring it back.
I think it's really difficult to change. I mean, you could say anyone between Westbrook. I mean, the Thunder's record has tailed off. They've lost like 4 of the last 5.
When they were 6-1,
it was
it's like, wow, what a beast. But yeah, they've since fallen back to earth and to my magic.
You look up the mighty Magic.
Hey man.
Yeah.
Beat the Thunders.
I think that top 3. If I was going to let's call it an MVP ranking to 10 games, I think you have to go with Chris Paul, number 1.
He's putting up a 19, a 5, 6 boards and 8.5 dimes.
In like 30 minutes a game or something like that. He's at the top, as I said, he's at the top or in the top 2 in almost every single advanced stat. Win shares per 48 minutes. Defensive win shares, for everything, like PER, he's in the top, like in the top couple in every one. And he's, him along with kind of, to a lesser extent Blake and DJ are the main reasons why that team is just blitzing everyone. I think he came out with a real. I think like all that, like what happened with the injury in the playoffs, and maybe just pissed off with one more kind of failure on the resume.
For sure.
He just, because sometimes Chris Paul tends to start pretty slowly and then build up, kind of round into form kind of a little bit later in the season. But he's come out on an absolute tear. He's shooting like 44% from three, which will tail off a little bit, I'm sure. But I see no reason. He's shooting the ball so cleanly. I see no reason why he couldn't keep it to 40%, on the season. Westbrook and Harden are give Harden the edge for record maybe. He's turned the ball over at a phenomenal rate, like almost 6 a game.
Yeah,
which is pretty bad. But even saying that, those top three, you've got Kawhi Leonard.
Oh,
LeBron has been sneakily
if,
putting up like a 21-9-9 or something.
If this is a 23-9-9, if this is MVP consideration, I'd probably move LeBron up to the top of mine just because 9-1.
That's true. That's true.
Like Paul's 10-1, and they both got their big threes kind of going, but like LeBron. He's LeBron. I can't help but he's the king,
So like you look at Curry, KD, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron, CP3, Westbrook, Harden, AD. That's 8 superlative. That's performance. That's just absolute virtuoso performances so far. Most of those teams have winning records. Some of them have very good records.
Yeah.
But almost every single one of them is just putting up spectacular numbers, and you find it difficult to. You just find it really difficult because you feel like no matter what way you make that list, you're leaving someone amazing off it. What like Kawhi Leonard, like the Spurs are better record than I thought.
8-3, yeah.
So they'd lost a couple on the trot, and I think they've won the last 3 or something like that.
I think they've lost to Golden State. After beating them, I think they're 1-1 with Golden State. I know they got blitzed by the Clippers, and I forget who the other one is.
Yeah, Kawhi has been.
He's been awesome.
He's been
25.5, five boards, and just Kawhi defense
And Pop's just kind of been over a few years, just been dropping him into that pool, of kind of offensive responsibility. Never kind of pushing him too far. Too much of a pace, but he's just got that point where he's just smoking guys on a nightly basis, you can't give it. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I would go CP3, LeBron,
CP3, LBJ.
CP3, LeBron, and Kawhi probably in that order. And Westbrook and Harden have both been phenomenal, but their teams just maybe aren't up to scratch. Well, if Harden leads the league in score, like if he finishes top 3 in scoring, leads the league in assists, that's ridiculous. Like that's a ridiculous achievement, no matter who you're, no matter what your team's record is.
Historic, and especially if they have a winning record with that.
I feel like you're gonna have 3 or 4 guys that are going to have Kobe 05-06 seasons, where they're just going to put up these silly stats, but maybe their teams are going to be hovering in and around that 500 mark to between 40 to 45 wins probably with a couple of those cases. But
Anthony Davis putting up 31.3 already, but they're only 2-9, so
Pelicans are shite.
They're not so good.
God, the Pelicans are terrible.
Beat Celtics today. So
Celtics, man. Jesus, the Celtics, man. That's a awful start.
5-5.
Like this, they need Crowder. They need Crowder and Al Horford back. Just the defense has just been dreadful. If you had told me, literally, my head was. It's just kind of the same with. Maybe it's actually more amazing than. You knew Thibodeau was going to find a bit more difficult implementing it with a new team, and The defense is going to drop back. But like the fact that the Celtics are top 3 or something in offensive efficiency, and like bottom 2 or 3
in
defense.
Wow.
I just, even without Horford and Crowder. Yeah.
You see, I mean, Isaiah Thomas, he's been doing pretty good. So
yeah, he's been good, but
big
you just
numbers,
don't want
but-
to praise any of them because so much of it seems to be coming like not boxing out for rebounds and poor effort and just getting beat on backdoor cuts and poor rotations, and I don't know if Crowder was really, he must be that important to their defensive identity. I don't know. No, the other things I said I wanted to talk about, I said was have you watched any Harrison Barnes?
I haven't watched much Dallas at all.
He's been good. Like,
Really?
he's been surprisingly good.
Well, he's long.
No, but like he hadn't, like, some of the things that some of the things that he's shown so far. He never showed any of that with the Warriors. I mean, you can put that down to maybe not getting enough offensive touches or whatever, but
well, he's the Black Falcon, and you need to respect.
Worst nickname ever, like up there with the worst of the worst.
He's a legitimate superhero, dude. What did you expect him to do?
He's been scoring like I think he's putting up 21 points and 6 rebounds with like 49% from the field and 35 from 3. I didn't see it coming. I thought he was going. I thought he had 16 points a game written all over. 16 points a game on 43% shooting written all over him. But he's been. Team's terrible. Team's awful.
Yeah, what are the Mavs, like 4-7?
2-7 maybe. Teams has been awful, but like his contract's not going to look that bad now. I mean, would you rather have Evan Turner for $75 million or Harrison Barnes for 90? Was 90 and 93? Can't remember the exact number, but I don't know. I'd say you'd rather have Harrison Barnes for 92 at this point, wouldn't you? It's definitely not going to be the absolutely horrific contract that people thought it was going to be anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but
it'll be just enough to keep Dallas in mediocrity and mired in a...
I don't think they're even going to be mediocre. They're looking worse than mediocre even, yeah. Depends. I mean, you never want to write Derek off, but Coney kind of gets back to health, but...
yeah, and Carlisle, he's a hell of a coach, and he's always overlooked, and I just think that he'll find a way somehow to pull 35 games out of a dead corpse of a team.
So basically what you're telling me is Carlisle will find a way. Just like life in Jurassic Park.
Alright, so we've rambled way too long. What is this, like 6 hours?
37 minutes.
Jesus.
37 minutes.
Alright, one last important question. You get one team starting 5 in a fight.
In a fight?
It's a giant brawl. Who's going to come out? All 30 teams starting 5 in the NBA. Which team's coming out and why?
Starting 5? Only the starting 5?
Only the starting 5.
Only the starting 5. That's difficult. Who you got?
Probably the Grizz.
Grizzlies, Zach Randolph's on the bench now.
Is he?
Yeah. He's in.
It's for Parsons. Fuck.
No,
that's
no. Because he's been declining big time, and I think they figured that he's in that kind of Al Jefferson.
Yeah. Just second.
Second
leading scorer off the bench. Still gets 16, 18 a game or something.
I'd probably go for. I think the Clippers would be up there.
Chris Paul. Blake Griffin seems like.
Yeah, he's a 6'10" pussy. He's a 6'10", 260-pound pussy.
I guess
you'd probably take him. In fairness, like
it's just I mean, I know he takes a lot. It's just a whining, man.
Yeah, but it's because you whine in a game doesn't mean you couldn't knock the head off someone.
Is Redick their starter?
Yeah, he broke his hand on a team manager, but still, it's probably just a poorly executed drunken punch. Oh, is it a sober fight or a drunk fight?
Why not both?
You can't come up with this ridiculous hypothetical and not give me the correct parameters.
You get one person to be sober, everybody else is drunk. You got a DD.
One person can be
One person is just stone sober. Everybody else is.
right. DJ Stone sober.
That ain't happening.
DJ pull the head off.
JJ Redick is gonna be your stone sober one because he's the biggest bitch on them. Like who's
just because he played for Duke, is not it?
Yes, it's because he played for Duke.
I don't know.
He probably doesn't even drink.
I need to really think about this. Who the hell? I don't even know which teams have tough players anymore. And even them, just because some people say they're tough, not like we've ever seen them actually fight. Or who's Ron play? Ron's still playing for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Ron.
Yeah, but he's not starting for him.
Yeah, true, Bill. I don't know. You can't just drop that one on me and expect me to... No, I know who I'm going for. OKC. I picked my boy Adams over anyone, man. Yeah.
So you got Adams, Westbrook, so that's
Westbrook.
a real
Adams
damn
and Westbrook,
good start.
man. Yeah, Westbrook running, not like... I guarantee Westbrook fights like windmill style. He just puts his head down and starts going like that.
God, yeah, that's actually probably the best answer.
Yeah. Adams. Yeah,
Adams is big Kiwi.
Beast, yeah.
He's probably a pacifist though.
I don't think he is though.
Probably not. Hard to say.
No.
Is there a worse team you'd think? Who would you least want to have?
Oh shit. Probably go for the Sixers just because they're so Joel's just so he's a big boy, but like he
go
can be
down
a little bit fragile. Like he dove into the stands in a game today. He was running for a loose ball. He threw it to the other team and dove over the top. And like Ilyasova, like the commentators were taking the piss out of Ilyasova because Ilyasova was sitting there going, ugh. Like he didn't even put his hands up to try and. Like, dude, that's your meal ticket jumping over the top of you. Just hold on to him or do something to stop him from breaking his, breaking an arm or breaking a leg or something.
Ilyasova's with 76ers now?
Yeah, he got traded for Grant. Remember that trade we talked about?
Okay.
But no, usage watch. We're watching to see who's going. Like if a player could beat Kobe's all-time usage rate, and so far this season, both Embiid and Westbrook are ahead. They're both have usage rates over 41%. Like Embiid, he's turning the ball over like 5.5 times a game. He's sucking up like 41% of their possessions. I don't even really think he's having that much of an impact most nights, as in like blocking shots and scoring whatever. But like it's just so much fun to watch. I'm gonna say that like literally every single time we do one of these things until the season's over. I'm gonna say Joel Embiid is fun to watch. Beating that dead horse.
So at least the process is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which the way the Magic played.
Oh, you have to keep bringing up that.
Something. Damn it. All right. Yeah. We've been rambling. Let's.
We've been boring you guys too long. No, but yeah, guys. We're gonna finish it up. There. If same as I said all the time, if you can like the videos or subscribe to the videos if you like it, stop flexing, stop doing anything. If you like the videos, if you could subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. If you could follow us on Twitter at SAB Podcast, tweet me some abuse, mock the pink shirt, mock this guy's turtleneck, anything you want really. Go for the jugular. We're tough kids. Yeah. No, so yeah, if you could do any of that, it would be very much appreciated. We're gonna try and get this out every Tuesday.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be the best night. We're not gonna have this conversation on air. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna try and get out at least one early in the week every week, and hopefully maybe another one, dropping on Friday or something like that.
We'll try and skim them down. We'll
strip it down to the bone.
We'll skim it down, make it like a clean, lean 25, and cut some of the filler bullshit.
Filler bullshit.
We call that Paul time.
Never filled a bullshit once in my life.
All right, so
yeah, guys, thanks very much for listening,
good job, guys.
We'll catch you guys soon. Thank you.
Well.